Hey, welcome back to No Hype Beer Reviews. Unless it's your first time, then welcome. Please consider subscribing. If you do, hit the notification bell, get all the updates. I'm so excited for so many reasons. If you just want the review, I would fast forward a little bit. So a few things. This is the first beer review I'm doing since I redid the basement. So I did do the hop water from Hop Butcher for the World. This is the first beer. So I'm really excited. This is one I wanted to do for the first one. I'd mentioned like wanting to do something special. This is that beer. So I'm really excited that worked out. It's the first beer I've had in a little over a week because I got a cold after I set this up. So it's just my first beer back for that reason also. And the last, and I would argue the biggest one for me, is this is a really cool collab. So it's Beer Tree, who I've reviewed them on the channel before. They're from my hometown area, Proper Glassware. But it's a collaboration with the Rod Serling Memorial Foundation. Where would I even start? So like hometown pride. I have a lot of it. I'm from Endicott, New York, birthplace of IBM, for example, you know? And not a perfect company, but like it's cool. Like they made clocks for a while, then they switched over to computer parts, so like that's rad. And then, you kind of, you're a small area, so you kind of branch out and include maybe a couple other of the local towns, villages, and cities. And, the Sedaris siblings lived in my area for a bit for their childhood. David, and he's an author, and Amy, who has been in everything from Elf to The Mandalorian, but you may know her from starring in Strangers with Candy way back in the day on Comedy Central. So like they take like some ownership, like, hey, there's some famous people. And then there is someone as cool as this person, Rod Serling. And I'll probably put in the title that it's a collab with them, so it's not a surprise that I just said that. But to celebrate his like 100th, a park in Binghamton, New York, that's where he was from, put a sculpture statue there, a statue proper, I should say. I haven't seen it yet in person, but I've seen a lot of pictures. And they'd reached out and made this collaboration beer, which is really cool. And I wasn't able, as I've talked about right now, my life is what it is, and I wasn't able to travel to see the statue yet or get this beer in person. But it did end up getting distributed up in the capital region of New York, so I was able to get a 4-pack. Bonus points in the comment section below if you get the reference Time Enough at Last. New England style IPA coming at 6.5% ABV. I don't think the hops are on here, but I mean, if they didn't use Centennial for a Centennial, I'm missed opportunity. Use whatever you want. The guy at the beer store said he had one the day before I bought it, and he really liked it. So, and then my friends, I was talking to my friends Mike and Jeff, and Mike had gone to see the statue and had gotten the beer and stuff. I don't remember if Jeff had tried that beer yet, so we've been talking about it. But yeah, there's a little collab, and yeah, it's just love Rod Serling, love. Wrote the first draft for Planet of the Apes, the Twilight Zone. I was one of those guys who, especially when I was young, before I would have like, New Year's Eve plans, my big plan was basement. As long as I could stay up on the Sci-Fi Channel, they would do a marathon of the Twilight Zone. So yeah, huge fan. Huge fan of how this beer looks. All right, we got about 2 fingers ahead. It's like that gray-white kind of color, compact bubbles. The beer itself, I mean, it's, exactly what a New England style hazy IPA should look like. It's that yellow orangish color, burnt orange. You can't see through it. Definitely looks the part. I already see some nice lacing forming. It's about the aroma. Definitely citrus, leaning more orange than anything. Almost like a gummy bear kind of a thing. Like there's real fruit smells and there's like confectionery fruit smells. I haven't said this one in a while, but blue cotton candy, like that fake blue raspberry confectionery thing. Definitely leans into a generic tropical thing for me. Maybe even like a little bit of watermelon specifically too. But yeah, just kind of generically tropical. It smells amazing. Let's get into the taste. Cheers. That is really good. The bitterness you want in an IPA with the mouthfeel, some juiciness that you want for the style. Drinks a little bit bigger than it is, which is nice. Maybe just because I haven't had a beer in a while. Maybe it does drink more like an IPA, but I could see it almost approaching like a double IPA. I guess it does drink like an IPA, but getting closer to a double IPA. But it has that really nice bitterness to it. Definitely that fruit salad thing and like generically tropical fruit salad for sure. Citrus, definitely more orange than lemon, but I do get a little bit of lemon. No, not really any grapefruit, at least on the first sip. Little berry note, probably that like confectionery thing I was talking about with the cotton candy. It's a little bit more real blueberry in the taste than like a confectionery fake blue raspberry kind of a thing. I think that's what the blue cotton candy is like this blue raspberry thing. For the orange, I get a little bit of zestiness, but it's a good mix of juice. It's a good amount of juice, I should say, with a little bit of pith and zestiness. Very little bit of zestiness, but it's there. It's not coconut, or is it a little slightly coconutty? Yeah, definitely tropical. It's interesting again because it's like generically tropical fruit, but at times I'm like almost picking out like, no, it's this. It's almost like you took those fruits and you did a smoothie. So maybe certain sips you get a little bit more of a thing, a little bit more pineapple. I get a little bit of pineapple at times in this, for example. That lychee, I would pronounce it. But it's not like unmistakably those things, or like those specific things don't linger long enough to be easily identifiable. But man, does this lands for me. See, I was saying nice lacing was going to form. You get just a little bit of malt on the finish. This beer's just about 3.5 weeks old at time of review, which for me, not mad at this. My wife had a can when I first got sick that Saturday that I was like, I'm sick, I'm not gonna have a beer. She actually wanted a beer, so she had one and she liked it too. So yeah, for us, it's 2 for 2. If you guys had this one before, fan of Rod Serling like I am, Twilight Zone, drinking a different beer you want to tell me about, just happy to see me drinking a beer on the channel. Anything, everything, comment section below. Let's get a conversation going. Once you're done doing that, make sure you check me out on Instagram and Untapped. It's No Hype Beer Reviews, both those places. So please like, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, imbibe. Cheers, everyone.